Good Monday morning. Wow. Hey, it's Ice Age TV. Welcome to the channel. And wow, this is so funny. I thought my kid took the truck this morning. I tell you what, that black truck there, that's a 2015 with actually 82 or 83,000 miles. That's a 2014. And that truck is so damn clean. I just have a hard time believing that truck wasn't repainted. I mean, that truck is so clean. It's hard to believe. That truck is 8 years old. Hey, how about that Harley Davidson sticker on the back of it? Kids wanting that. She's being a Harley lady. She got an Indian too. She's an all brand lady, is she? Likes Dodge, likes Ford. Yeah, so come on, pups, come on. Yeah. So, wow, that just kind of threw me off because she's been driving the Ram every day. She drove her Mustang today, and today's supposed to be lousy weather. Kind of surprised she did that, but who knows? But hey, look at this cool truck right here. Yeah, so what's the conversations today in the Ice Age TV adventures? Tell you what, you know, did oil changes yesterday, and my daughter was gone all day yesterday, and I'm not lying to you. I pulled that truck in the shop last night at close to 8 o'clock to change the oil, but the good news is they did change the oil, so that one's in good shape. So that's good to know. But this one here, but the dealer didn't change the oil. Somebody else changed the oil about 1,300 miles ago. I was just telling you, what's crazy is the looky here, EV age, Ice Age and EV age, right? So haven't put all my cars on the battery tender thing. I have so many vehicles sitting around. I'll tell you what, I have not even driven this Dodge Challenger. I've just been too damn busy. You know, it's just incredible. But I've crossed the bridge, battery tender. You know, battery tender. The GT500. Here's my little girl. Had to shave. She's just totally freaking out. Alright, let's get the dogs here in the office and get the day going, right? And there goes the dog as we go upstairs to start the day, the work week. Yeah, I do work. Probably don't think I do. Probably like that guy just sits around, makes YouTube channel videos all day. Well, one thing for sure, that's all I did. I'd be broker than broke. I'd be living out in the streets, because this don't make you no money. Yeah, so, you know, so keeping content interesting is not easy. I mean, you know, if you think about this, you watch TV and you watch the news channel and stuff, and there are so many people behind the scenes getting content information. Even big YouTube people, the support that they have for their channel, if they're pretty big, you know, videographer, people getting information, content for them, yeah, it's huge. And why? Well, they have to, because they can't handle it. You can't do this by yourself and be this big dynamic YouTuber guy on your own once you start growing. And all their comments and responses, I mean, you know, and you prove me wrong. I'm sure there's some people out there that maybe on their own by themselves have done extremely well and never had any support or help. But I don't know, I'd be amazed, because my YouTube channel, if you look at it, there's no dynamic. I used to put all these excerpts in, all this other stuff. I don't do it anymore because I'm using a different style phone, the Samsung phone. I'm using the Apple phones. The iMovie was easier to edit it and do this and that, but it's just so much time. You know, if you think about it, if I make an hour and a half video, or even a 30-minute video, you have to spend, if you want to go through and edit everything and make it look really cool, dynamic, blah, 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 add this, add pictures, like when I'm talking about my old cars, to add that picture in, to add in the information, you know, you can spend hours. You know, you can, between making the video and throughout the day, and then sitting down at the end of the day, and then editing the video, conservative, it could be 3, 4, 5 hours of your efforts to publish a really cool video. And for me, I don't get paid anything. So, you know, for me, it's like, whatever. If you like to watch my YouTube channel, great. If you don't, then whatever. I'm just posting videos because I enjoy to share information and experiences that, you know, many people won't be able to experience. I get all that. This is not me bragging about myself. It's not me just sharing with others, hey, you know, looky here, look what I'm doing, you know, whatever. And I know some get entertained out of it. Some people are like, your videos are too long. I'm sure some get into it and just click and whatever. But so, yeah, so the reason I'm bringing this up is, you know, how do you bring content to a YouTube channel that draws thousands and thousands of hits? I don't get that. You know, I average 100, 200 views, sometimes 500, 700. I've had a few thousand, but for the most part, it's just, you know, select individuals like to see my my face, like to see my content information, and hopefully that does things to, you know, you learn from it. That's kind of the goal for me, is just to share information. And you may already know some of this information, but for me, I got to thinking this morning, what has Tesla done? I mean, think this through. Elon Musk created Tesla, and as anybody knows, Tesla failed back in the, I guess, the early 1900s, late 1800s, on his capacity of how electricity should work. And I could be a little wrong on this, but from my readings, if I can remember right, Tesla didn't survive like the other electrical people did. And it's a lot more to it than that. So, and how the original, you know, founding electricity was being used. It's a good article to read. Anybody's watching the video, and I read that years ago, so I'm not even up to date on what exactly I read. But anyways, Tesla failed, if I remember correctly. And anybody can reach out and comment my inaccurate comments, misinformation. But the point is, Elon Musk, I think he's done a disservice to the country and the world. And if you're a green individual, you'd be like, "Whoa, what do you say? What do you mean by that?" And I'm with you. Well, that's a pretty strong statement that Elon Musk, with Tesla, who basically has created the electric car market to take off more than ever in mankind's history. Yeah, well, what I got to thinking about with Tesla is, and Elon Musk is, he went to the government and he was able to finagle $1 billion out of the government to help him start Tesla. But the only way that he could accomplish that is he had to present a business model to government. In all sincereness, it's really the government's fault of where we are today more than ever with what we're doing. And let me kind of clarify that. And once again, I'd love to hear my misinformation from others challenge what I'm going to say here. So the government back, I don't know, it's 2010 or something like that. I'm just going off rough numbers. Was looking for a company, since all the other companies went broke. You know, keep in mind, I talked about this the other day in my video, that in 2008, 9, 10, the financial crisis was huge, and the government took over the control of most of the big automotive industry. I mean, think that through. You know, big government took over General Motors and Dodge and borderline Ford, the big three domestic products here. So, you know, behind the scenes, unbeknownst to most people, the government started thinking, wait a second, you know, we're bailing these guys out, but we're going to get we're going to kind of change the direction how this kind of works. And believe it or not, the Hummer line had to be shut down because the government's position was it's a gas guzzler, it's bad for the environment. I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, they even tried to shut down the Corvette division. I mean, you need to read up on this. So the government, in all sincerity, it's the government started what Elon Musk played the game with to make his monies. And what I mean by this is the government took control of GM and told them the Hummer is a bad vehicle, being that, okay, the Chevrolet Suburban is the same engine, same miles per gallon as a Hummer. Yeah, hello. And then they want to get rid of the Corvette because they just felt like it was just an impractical car. So these are kind of the early days of the green agenda people behind the scenes mandating the big auto on what they can and can't do. And then they wanted to downsize all the franchisees, which they did. They cleaned house. I've got personal friends that lost their dealerships that were very lucrative, profitable businesses, but the government forced General Motors and Dodge to shut them down in order to have this money. I mean, just incredible. And the unions, keep in mind, the union for Dodge, Chrysler Automotive, you know, they were the stronghold in this whole process. Even to a point today to the degree, even though now Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram is owned by Stellantis, a European, Peugeot portfolio. So going back to my point. So the government threw out there, hey, we want somebody to build an electric car. Well, Elon Musk took advantage of that, and he presented a business plan to build the people's car. This is like the Hitler. Like the Volkswagen Bug was known as the people's car. It's an affordable car for everybody. So, in which was just smoke and mirrors. Elon Musk presented a business plan to the government that he would build an affordable electric car. And everybody knows that never happened. It never happened. You're telling me an affordable electric car that's $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 5 years ago? And anybody watching my YouTube channel thinks I'm bad-mouthing Tesla. If you own one, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is, and I get all that because I have pride of cars I have. If somebody starts bad-mouthing my car, I'll be like, I don't want to hear this. So this is not me saying that Tesla didn't do a good job in bringing a product to the marketplace. What I'm wanting to share this morning with others is Tesla created, from the government mandating a company be structured of electric only, he was able to magnify that. And what I mean with that is Tesla got an opportunity to be the only one, for the most part, in the marketplace with an all-electric vehicle. And if you step back and think about that, why wouldn't Tesla gone with a hybrid model? Well, I'm sure for Elon, he thought to himself, yeah, but then the big guys can follow that model pretty easily. And why do I want to do that? Because they could just be in my market. And I want to be exclusive only type of car manufacturer, blah, blah, blah. And I want to gain technology and information out of cars, unbeknownst to people that buy them, that's a rolling computer with cameras going down the road. And I'm collecting data beyond data that anybody's ever even knows about. Unbeknownst to them driving around their Teslas, doing him a huge favor, collecting data and information just to enrich him to make things even more lucrative. Yes. So Tesla kind of was in a, for Elon Musk, he's no idiot. He figured out how to make this thing work to his advantage. But even though it's been very challenging. And the reason it's been very challenging is because we've had inexpensive energy. For the most part, we've had cheap fuel in this country. We've had its spikes, it's had, it's up and down. But for the most part, fuel in this country has always been cheaper than a lot of parts of the world. That's why, we're the ICE heads, right? ICE HTV, internal combustion engine, has been the forefront runner of the infrastructure of our country for, most of the century and so forth, so on. So, but Elon, at the same time, he created the followers. So Tesla, created the uniqueness of a different type of vehicle that eventually made the big auto executives think to themselves, well, we're watching Tesla, we're seeing what Tesla's doing, and they kind of started building their business model around Elon Musk's own model, being that people will buy an all-electric vehicle. And at the same time, for the big auto, they're paying Elon Musk carbon footprint credits. Elon Musk is collecting like $1 billion a year or more from the big automotive industry because of the government's mandated guidelines of vehicles having to be at a certain fleet average. So what it means is for General Motors or Dodge, they have to have an average of like 1 year up to 20 miles per gallon. And then by another year, that's to be like 23. And then by another year, and it's in increments over years. So maybe like by 2030, Dodge has to be at 35 miles per gallon average fleet vehicles. That means they're, not the big trucks, but their SUVs and cars all have to be within that. And they're light duty trucks. They have to be within that average. And so it's very challenging in the ICE technology. So this is why the big auto is kind of being forced to go into electric cars, is because of all these government mandates of these average fuel mileage. And if they don't meet it, then they have to pay the government big fines, or they pay, it's ridiculous. They pay Elon Musk, Tesla, they buy his carbon footprint tax credits. So, Dodge or GM could write Elon Musk a $500 million check, which they do this stuff, in order to offset their penalties for them not meeting the EPA government mandated, across the board guidelines. In the government's position, it's only enriching Elon Musk and Tesla to advance their technology to keep them going. Because if it wasn't for the carbon footprints, Elon Musk and Tesla would have been out of business many, many, many years ago. And Elon Musk, though, sees now that that's going to dry up. That money's going to dry up because the big auto, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Hyundai, General Motors, Dodge, Ford, they're all getting their, eggs in one basket, and they're not going to be paying Tesla any money for carbon footprint credits. So for Elon, he's already sees the paint on the wall, not only from the reason of market infrastructure or market shares being taken away from him from competition, but he's going to lose that free money he was getting for the carbon footprint tax credits the government rewarded him with. So going back to my original statement, if you look at Toyota right now is using solid state batteries. They're not using lithium batteries. Right now, Toyota is actually on the mission by 2025 to bring their first solid state hybrid vehicle that will be a very fuel efficient vehicle. So for Toyota, they have actually been totally against the electric revolution. The CEO of Toyota is the original Toyota founders family. And he point blank said a few years ago, he does not want to go to this all-electric vehicle technology. He wants to keep the gas engine going. And there's a lot of reasons behind that because of the infrastructure, the R&D, there's a lot of things, but they're on a more of a path. They don't like the lithium battery technology. They like the solid-state battery technology, and they think they can accomplish better fuel-efficient vehicles than what a electric vehicle lithium-ion battery does. And because they think it's more solid, it's more of a stable battery, but they believe they can get longer range and more energy out of a solid-state battery. So Toyota's actually behind the scenes working diligently to bring more of a, what they feel like, a better solution. And that's what I'm saying about earlier is Tesla borderline has done a disservice to our country because it has convinced so many that an all-electric vehicle battery is the answer, but it's not. It really is unfortunate that more executives and more green agenda people wouldn't step back and say, wait a second, maybe there is a better way of converting our ICE engines into a happy medium of what would be better overall for all of us, being it could be, more affordable and maybe not the destruction of the mining of lithium ion. People forget that the Chinese are just right now control the lithium ion batteries. They're like 75% of the distributors. So, there's just greed behind greed that's driving that lithium ion technology because the Chinese are making so much money off of it. So, once again, my theme in the morning is Tesla has done a disservice to us ICE age people and borderline to the electric vehicle infrastructure because everybody's going down one path. And I think Toyota is going to be a really good example of a company that resisted this lithium-ion technology, and they're going to bring a better way. And that's what I was thinking to myself this morning. Remember how you used to say to yourself, wow, I wonder if my car could get 50 miles a gallon. And that's just so crazy is I can honestly tell you, maybe you watch my video, if I said told you this morning, I'm going to sell you a car that's a hybrid solid-state battery mixture, and you're going to get 50 to 70 miles per gallon. Would you be interested in this vehicle? I can guarantee a ton of people like, oh, absolutely. You mean you're telling me that if I get on the highway and I'm getting into a challenge to find a charging station, or the charging station's backed up with 20 cars, I can just put gas in my car and I can keep moving and I have the option to manage my power the way I want? Wow, what a great idea. So it's so unfortunate that more than ever today, it's the misinformation age. That's what's going on more than ever. And I think it's just a disservice that for Elon Musk to me, it's been more about the money, because you cannot tell me that Elon Musk brought the people's car to the market. I mean, anybody that's a Tesla person, go ahead. I mean, I have no problem with being criticized. You're telling me that Elon Musk, accomplished bringing the people's electrical vehicle for the masses in this country or the world? I don't see it. I haven't seen it. I mean, okay, maybe now he has a $45,000 car. I don't know. I don't really, but he never had that 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and I get it. He wouldn't be in business because you can't make these cars for cheap and stay in business. I get all that. So anyways, just wanted to share with you and anybody watching my YouTube channel my ideas and views of what's going on in the automotive world, which it's bigger than ever, the change it's upon us. And it's just sad that there aren't more people that aren't stepping back to just understand that this electric vehicle revolution isn't what you think it is. And here's another thing. In my own backyard, there was just an article published that in my own backyard, there have been multiple lithium-ion fires. The fire departments are seeing more than ever people have batteries, I should say people have cell phones, computers, electric cars. It could be a golf cart. Who the heck knows? It could be a toy. The lithium-ion batteries are catching on fire, and they're having to fight fires more than ever from this new technology. And you're hearing the fire department raise their hands saying it's not good. This new technology is unstable, and we're having challenges. And I know cars catch on fire. I get all that. I'm not here saying this morning that electric vehicles are going to burn the whole world down. But what I'm saying to you is, I think it's unfortunate that if you step back and look how this all started, it was the government that took over the big auto back in 2009 and 10 that really started to push more than ever a change of the automotive world. And here we are now, 12 years later, and you have to just kind of step back for a second and say, wow, there's a lot of change going on. There's a lot of challenges. I have electric vehicles. I like them, but I understand the challenges with them. And I think that the likes of Toyota is doing us a great favor to say, whoa, slow down. You're telling me that if you had a vehicle that could go 500 miles, and of that 500 miles, you're averaging 50 miles a gallon, which is 10 gallons, and in normal gas prices, that's $30. That's nothing. You're telling me you can basically go to Florida for $60 in your car, 1,000 miles? I mean, that's nothing. You want to accomplish that in an electric vehicle. You will not accomplish that. You're going to spend at least $300. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching my channel. I got to go to work. I got a job. I got to run a business. And I hope this morning's information intrigued you to comment and think about this, and look forward to hearing anybody else's views and ideas. And I hope everybody has a great day and stay safe.